day before. Maybe the best at bat we've seen this season. A 12-pitch at bat. David Freese ends up doubling into the right field corner in the second inning. That gave the Pirates an early lead.
Yeah, throughout the afternoon, David Freese had really good at bats. He ended up having a 3-hit day. Cubs respond as Zobrist delivers Bryant with the RBI single to the left.
Fifth inning now. Kyle Schwarber with an RBI single. That gave the Cubs a short-lived 2-1 lead. Sixth inning. This was the big inning as the Pirates would put up 3. Freese tying the game with that opposite field single. A couple of batters later, Cervelli with the 2-run double.
Yeah, two themes in the ball game yesterday. I thought Kyle Hendricks threw the ball very well. Had a little misfortune in that 6th inning. McCutchen reached on a little bit of a weak single. Then they played the hit-and-run game. And then the Cubs, with the opportunities late, just couldn't cash in. Left the bases loaded in both the 8th and 9th innings. So the Pirates, behind Tony Watson, their closer, hang on for the W.
Garrett Cole has always pitched well in this ballpark. He gets the win. Hendricks taking the loss. Both guys 1-1 to start the year. Watson with the save. And in terms of the Cubs offense, it's been a little up and down, but one thing is for sure, the change at the top of the order has been very good. That's Kyle Schwarber leading off. Let's hear from his manager.
I think right now he has seen either the most pitches in the National League or the most in both leagues, or right near the top in both leagues. So he's doing his job from that perspective. He's come up with a lot of opportunities to drive in runs in spite of hitting in the leadoff spot. And then furthermore, my concern was always that he would not be pitched to if he hit elsewhere in the batting order. And even hitting one with Bryant and Rizzo behind him, the other team has chosen not to pitch to him on occasion, which furthermore indicates it's the right spot for him to be. I love it, actually, and it's kind of nice to see him walk up there to start the game. He's always mentally involved. He doesn't take a pitch off, and I think everybody feeds off all of that.
So 2-run lead in the 9th, nobody on base, and it looked like Watson was almost working around Schwarber.
Yeah, and that's the challenge that pitchers are going to face all year long. Schwarber's so dangerous at the top of the order. Pick your poison. You want Schwarber, you want Bryant to keep the line moving. You run into Rizzo, and the offense has been a little sluggish here in the early going. I attribute that mostly to cold weather.
It's replica trophy day. Everybody got here a little bit earlier than usual, and the Plaza packed. We'll hear from Kelly Kroll when we come back to Wrigley. Like July 15th here at the ballpark, and the Plaza outside of Wrigley Field has been a very popular stop for fans before heading in the Western Gate. And with more on that, here's our Kelly Kroll.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. What a beautiful day for fans to take in the park at Wrigley. You talk about a special experience. This place is remarkable, just outside of the front gates, and it is something else. I mean, fans who've been coming to the games for a year, this is an all-new area, and it has it all. I'm telling you, one-stop shop. Check it out. In the morning, go get yourself some coffee here on the edge from Starbucks, and after you feel a little jolt, then you can walk yourself into Justin's and get yourself one of those new championship World Series rings, or one of the nice pendants too, right? And then after you're feeling fresh with your new jewelry, well, you're gonna wanna get some new Cubs gear, right? So the Cubs store, brand new, 2 stories, raving reviews from fans thus far. They have any and everything you might need. And then you probably are gonna be a little hungry, right? Work up an appetite after all that. So stop by the food trucks, get yourself a taco, some drinks, good stuff. They'll also have a restaurant opening up soon in the summer called Bricktown. And then, well, of course, the game. The main event will be on that very large screen. And while the players and Joe Madden haven't exactly had the time right to come enjoy this yet, they have seen it on their way into the ballpark, and here are Joe Madden's thoughts.
It looks gorgeous. I have not been in there yet. Theo and Jed were raving about it. They had a chance to walk through it. Just driving up today, my God, it was like the 7th game of the World Series. I mean, there was folks, I guess. Oh, I mean, it was lined up. Every place was packed. I think it looks great. It looks great. I mean, it was really well thought out, well designed. Our fans, my goodness, what a great place to come to view a baseball game. Again, I'm driving. I didn't know this. They're giving out these things today, but wow, what a crowd gathering at 10 o'clock this morning. Pretty impressive, and the park was magnificent.
Per usual, Madden hits the nail on the head right there. This is just a beautiful area, and what an experience for fans today. Perfect weather, and celebrating the 70th anniversary of Jackie Robinson Day today as well, guys. Let's go ahead and send it back up to you. This is the place to be out here this afternoon, though.
Well, Kelly is a coffee connoisseur and as a guy who loves food trucks, I will be checking it out. Looks great, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, great place for folks to gather both before and after the ball game. Yeah, look for Len. He'll be the guy, a little beret tipped down over his eyes, sipping a cappuccino.
Let's talk Jake Arrieta. 2 starts in, he's got 2 wins, and we've seen him use his vast array of pitches quite a bit.
Yeah, curveball usage up definitely for Arrieta, especially in his last start against the Brewers. That slow get me over curveball is a nice little weapon for him. The velocity has been down a little bit, but the movement on the fastball has been good. It's been very effective. Always has that cutter. He punched out 10 in 7 innings against Milwaukee. Ryan Braun got him fairly early for a 3-run home run, but after that he retired 13 of the final 14 he faced. Interesting matchup here today. You see Arrieta's numbers against the Pirates, great in his career, 9-3 with a 296. Recently he's had some struggles against them. Tyler Glasnow, one of the top pitching prospects in the game, just 23 years of age, really struggled with his control in his first start against Cincinnati.
We saw Garrett Cole yesterday, Glasnow today, Tyone tomorrow. The Pirates are hoping those 3 guys will anchor this rotation for years to come.
Yeah, you know, big, young, strong right-handers, high-ceiling guys near the top of the draft, all 3 of them. They've done a real nice job building through the draft for this starting rotation.
Just minutes away from the first pitch. Let's head down to the field for today's national anthem.
At this time, please remain standing and join Miss Illinois Whitney Wandland as she honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
On CSN, Chicago is presented by State Farm. They got here early today. The giveaway, one of the best we've ever had, the replica World Series trophy. And the defending champs play the Pirates after Pittsburgh took the opener 4-2 yesterday. Cubs come into this game at 6-4. And it's been a little bit of all or nothing, Jim Deshaies, in terms of the offense.
Yeah, you know, fairly common to see pretty significant splits for teams in terms of their runs scored and wins and losses. But that's a pretty wide divide, and 4 losses averaging just a run and a half per game. You know, consistent run production, so much a part of it, of the success story for a major league team. You score, you know, 4 runs a game with the pitching staff that the Cubs run out there, you're going to win a whole lot of baseball games. So it's been a little light, and as we mentioned earlier, I think a lot of it has been because of the cold weather.
Tyler Glass now will start for the Pirates. It'll be Jake Arrieta for the Cubs. We'll have the lineups, the first pitch, and all the action on a gorgeous day next.
Brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And Southwest Airlines, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
It is Jackie Robinson Day around baseball, and this is a special one. April 15th, representing the 70th anniversary of Robinson breaking baseball's color barrier back in 1947. All Major League personnel in uniform around baseball today will wear Jackie's number 42. And according to our buddy Ed Hardig, Wrigley Field, the only current Major League ballpark that Robinson played a game in, whether regular season, all-star game, or World Series. 93 career games for Jackie here at Wrigley Field as the Cubs take the field to a rousing ovation. And let's look in on the Pirates Southwest starting lineup the day after they snapped a 4-game losing streak. Adam Frazier will get the start at short. Starling Marte in center. Andrew McCutchen plays right. David Freese, one of the hottest hitters in baseball, is at third. Josh Bell making his first start of the series. Cervelli catching. Harrison playing the outfield. He's versatile defensively. Alan Hansen will play second. And Glasnow, the pitcher, who hits left-handed, will bat ninth.
And the Cubs defensively, Schwarber in left field, where you'll find him every day, and more frequently we're seeing Jason Hayward in center. Ben Zobrist plays right. Bryant Russell, Baez, Rizzo third to first. Wilson Contreras is the catcher, and the Lexus starting pitcher today is Jake Arrieta. 2 starts, 2 good ones. He is 2-0 with a 2.08 ERA. 13 innings of work. He's allowed just 7 hits, a 152 batting average against. Last year for the entire season they batted less than 200 against him. He has struck out 16, walked only 4. Lexus experience amazing.
Alan Porter is the home plate umpire. Crew chief Joe West is at first. Hunter Wendelstedt at second. Andy Fletcher is at third. If you like round numbers, Jake Arrieta has made 100 career starts as a Chicago Cub, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better 100 start stretch for any starting pitcher. 56 and 21 with a 2.52 earned run average, including an all-star appearance and a Cy Young Award and a World Series championship.
Sprinkle in a couple of no-hitters, a whole bunch of low-run games. Yeah, and when you look at you compare him to the Cub greats, you run across the likes of Hall of Famer Pete Alexander and Hippo Vaughn, guys who you see sprinkled all over the Cubs record books. I love the contrast between home plate, the mound, and the infield dirt.
Yeah,
the color. It's very colorful, very bright, beautiful spring day here today.
Left-handed hitting Adam Frazier will start it. Bryant pulled in at third. Everybody else is back, and we are underway. That is a strike.
Frazier had a little time with the Pirates last year. High average hitter throughout his minor league career. Does not hit for power at all.
Oh, 0-2.
Yeah, wind blowing out about 25 miles an hour here, so keeping the ball on the ground important this afternoon for these pitchers.
Well, the assumption is always when it's 81 southwest wind, as you said, 24-25 miles an hour, it's a hitter's day. Although Greg Maddux used to say he didn't mind the breeze blowing against him, that it helped the movement on his pitches. He might buy an extra out on a foul ball as the wind will keep it on the field. Arrieta strikes out Frazier, and missing bats is a good thing to do on a day like this.
Yeah, and both guys certainly capable of doing that. Arrieta not only does he miss bats, but he gets a lot of outs on the ground too. So Arrieta being Arrieta, it's never really a hitter's day when Arrieta's on the mound.
Starling Marte, 1 out of 4 with a double in the opener. Cubs are 6-4, Pirates 4-6. Swing and a miss. There was a time when it felt like Arrieta had to pitch against the Pirates, right? Every time we saw them get Jake somehow a start because he had dominated them. But last year the Pirates figured something out.
Yeah, pretty dramatic turnaround for the Pirates the last 3 times they saw him compared to what they normally did against the big right-hander.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Could be returning to the norm here today. This is a hard cut fastball sliding across the plate off the outside edge. 2 up, 2 down, 2 punch outs for Arrieta.
McCutchen takes a pitch in the dirt. Trying to recapture his MVP form. And he drills one foul to left.
Here graphically, what we were talking about, Arrieta, first 12 regular season starts against the Pirates, 9-1 with a 146, and then last 3 starts against them last year, posting a 9.87 ERA.
Right, so I think these 2 teams played 6 series last year. He made a start in all of them.
Yeah, no doubt familiarity helps the hitters after a time.
Two and two. This is Arrieta's age 31 season. And 31 in early March. 8th season in the big leagues. Got to hang with foul balls like this as the wind might take a ball that would land in the 5th or 6th row and keep it on the field of play.
Communication will be key today, right, on pop-ups and fly balls with the wind blowing and bright sky overhead. Well, a good one. Arrieta appears to have a little more jump on his fastball today. There's been a lot of talk about his velocity being down his first 2 starts.
He consistently 93 on his sinker here in the 1st inning. Talked with his pitching coach about velocity, and Chris Bosio said it's much more important to him to see what kind of contact hitters are making, or the reaction of the hitter, than anything else. He also said all of his pitchers are able to vary the speeds of their fastball. So you're not constantly doing the max effort, throw it as hard as you can business.
Right, you're trying to locate, you're trying to create movement.
On the ground, backhanded by Bryant, looks it in and gets McCutchen. Pirates do not score with the Cubs coming up. Get the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. And this alignment in terms of the defensive positioning has been used quite often here in the first 2 weeks. Schwarber, Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist in right, cleaning up. Russell the shortstop, Hayward in center, Contreras catching. Arrieta got his Silver Slugger award yesterday, and Javier Baez playing second and batting ninth.
Well, let's check in with Clint Hurdle's bunch defensively here. A late change. Josh Harrison originally was going to play second base, but they decided to stick him out there in left. Marte's in center, McCutchen in right. You'll notice no Gregory Polanco this afternoon. Freeze Frazier, Hanson Bell, Cervelli behind the plate, and 23-year-old right-hander Tyler Glasnow. He's a big guy, big lanky right-hander, 6'8", 225. He did not make it out of the second inning in his start against the Reds. Had all kinds of command issues. Walked 5.
Facing Schwarber. And if Kyle gets a hit here, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
You know, and if he goes deep, I'm going to throw in 100 too.
Okay. I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah.
Don't throw it out the window, though. It might blow out of the ballpark with the ball.
So apparently, between starts, Ray Serge, the pitching coach of the Pirates, did a little tinkering with Glasnow's delivery. Sometimes it can be difficult to repeat that delivery when you stand 6'8".
That'll be a hit. And Schwarber's going to make his way to second. Not a hard hit double, but a double nonetheless. So JD will donate $50, which is half of the home run total.
Good call. Challenge, I think, for the Cub hitters today, knowing Glasnow's control issues, and they've plagued him, and plagued is probably too strong of a word, but he's had control issues throughout his minor league career, and I say too strong of a word because it didn't really affect him as a minor leaguer. He's 36-19 with a 2.03 ERA throughout his time in the minor leagues. But he's always run a high walk rate.
I love Kyle's reaction. He looked at the dugout and he said, wow.
Brian, he's going to hit 2 today. 2 long balls. Okay. That's another prediction. He hasn't gotten deep yet this year.
Well, you make a good point about Glasnow. There's certain things you can get away with in the minor leagues that you can't at this level. And that's going to be his challenge as he looks for his first major league win. First time he's ever pitched in this ballpark.
So, yeah, and when you see a kid struggle with command, you wonder 2 things. Is it mechanical or is it trust? You just don't trust your stuff enough to attack hitters, especially a guy who's used to dominating opposing lineups and getting a bunch of strikeouts. You tend to pitch away from contact. Big league hitters, for the most part, are going to be a little more disciplined and ultimately force you into the strike zone, especially this group of Cubs.
High drive. There's number 1 off the board.
1 down, 1 to go. Oh my. I didn't need any stinking wind. Well, nice to put pressure on the kid early after a rough start last time out. He had a cup of coffee with the Pirates last year. First ever start in this ballpark. It's always a big deal for a young player when they make their debut at Wrigley Field. Here's your Ford home run replay. Big fella getting extended and lifting this one off the video board. That's exciting.
You called it. Career homer number 66. The 25-year-old Chris Bryant. is the 6th home run to hit the left field video board. 4 of those shots belong to Bryant.
We could call him Captain Video.
One and 2 on Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah, I was down on the field watching some BP earlier, and the wind was helping quite a bit, to say the least. Schwarber hit one off the board, way up off the board and right. Albert Almora almost got the board during BP.
Rizzo hitting .400 on the homestand with 2 game-winning hits. Choking up with 2 strikes. Swings and misses for the first out.
Good looking changeup, and this kid's got swing and miss stuff. He can go 97 on the fastball, will sit comfortably 93, 94. Curveball and a straight change. He was a 5th round pick of the Pirates in 2011, the same year they took Garrett Cole, #1 overall in the draft.
It's like Ben's wearing some Knox socks today. Be paying homage to wearing number 42. A lot of big league players used to wear their uniforms like that.
Good look, especially for a guy like Zobrist, who's an old school player.
Cracked his bat as he rolls to the shortstop, and a bobble by Frazier. That's an error.
Fairly routine, came up on him just a little bit. He got caught with his hands deep a little bit instead of having that glove out in front.
Pitch to Russell, look out, up and in, 95 on the Heat.
Both clubs willing to start base runners in the ball game yesterday. I would think there'd be far less of that today with the wind blowing out. Why take chances on the bases? A chance to hit the ball out of the ballpark, up and down your lineup.
McCutchen can't get it. All the way to the wall. Zobrist will score easily. Russell racing to third. He's got a triple. Three hits, 3 extra base hits, and 3 runs.
A nice early run support for Jake Arrieta. Russell hit about 70 points higher in this ballpark than on the road last year. He loves it here at Wrigley. As McCutchen transplanted from center to right, not able to come up with the ball. Cubs are a single away from a first inning cycle, and the Pirates are pulling the infield in.
Against Jason Hayward. Now, this is the kind of day you don't want to leave any breadcrumbs on the table, so to speak, right? Can't score enough with the wind blowing out.
Right.
Because a team can get right back in it with one big swing.
Yep, got to stay greedy. It's that changeup to the left-handed hitters. A couple good ones to Rizzo. Throws it hard. It's 88 miles an hour.
Jake might be thinking long ball today.
Oh, you know it.
Very reachable for him, even when the wind isn't blowing out. Ground ball through. 4-0. Double homer, triple single for the Cubs here in the opening inning.
Well, there's your first inning cycle. Ball basically beat Jason, but he stays, stays on it, gets on top of the ball. Infield was in. A tough call for Clint Hurdle there in that situation. Do you bring the infield in or not? A lot of times with a young, struggling pitcher out there, you'd say, well, let's concede the run. Let's just go ahead and get an out, try to get this kid off the field. But he's also up against Jake Arrieta, and even with the wind blowing out, that could be a tough proposition scoring against Jake.
If you could keep your foot on the throttle here, the Cubs may make Clint Hurdle make a very difficult decision. He does not want one of his star prospects to take a beating here. And he could get into their bullpen really early.
Yeah, which ultimately may force them to make a roster move for tomorrow's game if their bullpen gets taxed here this afternoon.
I think that's one of the most difficult decisions a manager has in any given day. You've got a couple of lineup things you want to figure out, but it's bullpen decisions and when to take out a starter who hasn't found his footing early, because as you say, they can have implications, those moves, for several days. Inside, and Contreras 2-0.
Yeah, and then the other factor, as you mentioned, the psyche of a young pitcher that you're trying to get settled into the big leagues.
Popped up. Bell makes the catch.
I think it was Ken Schramm that used to tell the story. Pitching with the Twins maybe back in the day in the 70s, maybe 80s. And Rick Cerrone was catching, and he was getting lit up in the first inning. I think it was against the Yankees. And the manager came out and said to Cerrone, "What's he got?" And Cerrone, "I don't know. I haven't caught anything yet. Nothing's got all the way to me yet."
Not the answer he wanted to hear. Arrieta, along with Anthony Rizzo, got the Silver Slugger trophies yesterday.
Arrieta might be one of the few pitchers in the game that would show up to Wrigley Field on a day like today, look at the flags blown out, and go, "Yes."
That's a strike. Pitch at 97 miles an hour. Long pause before this pitch. It's in there as well. Same spot, same velocity. called, strike 3. But the big bats got it going early as the Cubs put up 4 runs in the first inning and lead 4-0.
Chicago is presented by State Farm. That is a high quality baby right there, rocking an Easter bonnet.
Chris Bryant with his first homer of the season, getting the scoring started. RBI triple, RBI single. A little later in the inning, Russell and Hayward. Now also victimized by a Frazier error, so one of the 4 runs was unearned. David Freese, maybe the hottest hitter in baseball. 3 for 4 yesterday, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, reached on an error, scored a run. His last 14 plate appearances, 7 hits, 4 walks, and reaching on that error, so he's been on 12 of the last 14 tries, including 2 doubles and a home run.
He's already had 3 3-hit games this year. He's 4 out of 15 with a home run lifetime against Jake Arrieta.
And on the hands. Fouled out of play. Good to see Mila Kunis, famous actress and Jim Beam global partner, in town to unveil the new Jim Beam Cubs Game 7 batch, available in Chicagoland this summer. And the official ceremonial first pitch catcher, Justin Grimm, doing his thing today.
You know, she was born in Ukraine.
Really?
Yeah, I did a little Google search. Oh my!
Got him.
Got him
On the outside corner for his 3rd strikeout already.
Alan Porter, the home plate umpire, he made the verbal call, but he didn't make the signal. He kind of locked me up. He's going to call this a ball. That's a perfect pitch. Arrieta, who had 10 strikeouts last time, off to a good start with 3 already today.
Bell taps to third, foul, facing the guy off whom he had his first major league hit in his first career plate appearance last July.
Yeah, very first pitch that he saw.
Pinch hit grand slam the next night off Adam Warren. Had a big weekend right before the All-Star break to begin his major league career.
Yeah, off to a slow start this year, but a guy who, when you look at his minor league numbers, has always hit for a high average, very patient, takes a ton of walks.
Trying to snap an 0 for 15. And it's 1-2. Big guy, and he's got a wide stance. He takes up much of the batter's box.
Yeah, he is a large human. From Dallas, he went to same prep school as Jordan Spieth, the fine golfer. Jesuit College prep in Dallas. Second round pick.
Fly ball again. Wind is going to keep this one in play as Schwarber had to back. Yeah, I mean yesterday, JD, that ball's 5 or 6 rows out of play easily.
Yeah, especially with a left-handed hitter, that ball's typically going to have slice spin and it's going to carry it even further into the stands. But that wind is Jordan Spieth would have to change clubs.
There you go, tying it all together.
Yeah, you'd have to hit that big high draw.
And I point out these little nuances because it's not either or. So when you say, "Oh, the wind's blowing out, I'm not going to pitch well," you can take advantage on days like this, and that would be an example right there of Arrieta buying an extra out. The 0-1 on Cervelli.
And I would imagine you mentioned Greg Maddux earlier, and he was so good, could locate so well. He was the type of guy that could take advantage of the greedy nature of the hitters. They see that wind blowing and they're going to try to lift everything, and he would just, throw that sinker off the plate or run it in on their hands. And that's the challenge for the hitters. You don't really want to change your game plan a whole lot because the wind's blowing out. You got to do what you do.
Well, you also can't go up there thinking, "I don't want to walk. I want to swing. I want to hit it out of the park." See Contreras letting Bryant know a breaking ball was coming. Notice he looked toward third and kind of pointed his glove in that direction. Fly ball center field, carrying, still going back. Are you kidding? A home run for Cervelli. Yep, it's going to be that kind of day. Hayward and Schwarber are talking about the wind. I thought Jason might catch that ball 100 feet from the wall out there, but yeah, that's
those flags are really ripping right now. You see this, Cervelli doesn't hit many home runs at all. You see the trajectory of this ball off the bat. You're thinking, no way. But there's no such thing as no way today. It's your Ford home run replay. It's number 2 for Cervelli.
So the Pirates are on the board. I had the over-under going into the game at 4 on total home runs. I think over would have been the play.
Yeah.
You mentioned Harrison going from second to left. They made 2 lineup changes today. The first one took Gregory Polanco out with right groin discomfort. And then a little after that, they moved Harrison from second to left And put Alan Hansen at second. He's on deck. Ground ball to Bryant. And that's it. 2-out homer by Cervelli, their first hit. It's 4-1 Cubs early, and still lots of action on the Plaza at Wrigley.
One lead here in the second. This is your Miller Lite game report. Jason Hayward sporting the high socks today in honor of Jackie Robinson Day, and before the game talked about his admiration and gratitude toward Jackie Robinson, all that he stood for, both on and off the field, everything he experienced, and he handled it with such class. Jason also asked why he thinks there are so few African Americans in the game today, and he gave a very honest answer, guys. I thought it was really good. He talked about how in a household like his, where education is pushed and the job that will follow, you look towards college and the scholarship opportunities in baseball are so few in comparison to basketball and football and all the full scholarships they offer. And he said, I think that's the first place we have to start when we think about education and how important that is to African Americans in the game of baseball.
Very thoughtful answer from Jason Hayward.
Yeah, and there's definitely a socioeconomic component to this too. I think baseball has become a game of the suburbs. So kids in all these, elite leagues and travel teams.
One strike on Javier Baez. 4-1 Cubs. We'll see how Glasnow responds to a very tough first inning. It's been an eventful week for the Cubs. Putting up the World Series banners Monday night as Baez strikes out. Getting their World Series rings on Wednesday. Monday, before the game against Milwaukee. This is very cool. They're going to fly in 3 former Cubs, all with the Kansas City Royals. The Royals are off that night. So Jason Hamill, Jorge Soler, and Travis Wood will be here at Wrigley Field to receive their rings. I would imagine Dexter will get his when the Cardinals come in.
Yeah, nice that they can get a little love from the home crowd.
Outside, and Kyle Schwarber. Well, Jackie could hit the ball out of the ballpark. He never hit more than 19 homers in any one major league season. He was more of a singles and doubles hitter. Stole a lot of bases. I think of Jackie Robinson. One of the first things I think most baseball fans think of is stealing home.
He did it 19 times in his career. Led the league in stolen bases twice. Back when there wasn't a lot of base stealing going on. Glasnow appears to be settling into a little bit of a rhythm.
The Dodgers tonight will unveil the first statue at Dodger Stadium. It'll be Jackie Robinson as Schwarber strikes out. So
I believe that depiction's sliding into home too.
Yeah,
right?
responded well here in the second.
Come out and show your support of your world champion Chicago Cubs. Tickets are still available for the rest of this homestand, including tomorrow afternoon's game with the Pirates, and then that 3-game set with the Milwaukee Brewers. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com.
So that's now 3 consecutive strikeouts for Glasnow.
Yeah, and you see it a lot. And even though Arrieta's a good hitting pitcher, when the opposing pitcher gets up there, all of a sudden the mindset changes where pitcher becomes more confident, more aggressive, attacks with his stuff, has a little success, and then he can take that and roll that into ensuing hitters.
On the ground, they were shifting, so that's the second baseman Hansen over on the shortstop side. Cubs go quietly in the second. They lead 4-1. Tomorrow, or tips off tomorrow, I should say, on CSN. Bulls and the Boston Celtics for Game 1. Coverage begins at 4:30 with Bulls pregame live, or stream at csnchicago.com and on the NBC Sports app. 4-1 Cubs, third inning. Switch hitting. Alan Hansen shows bunt. Takes ball 1. He's 24 years old and just his 32nd major league game.
.31 at-bats with the Pirates last year, batted .226. Lifetime .281 minor league hitter.
2-1. That one got away from Arrieta. Hansen's dad, David Hansen, former minor league player in the Angels system. Off the end of the bat, Ball's carrying, and it'll give Hayward a chance to stay on his feet.
Hey, this Monday, it would be the 17th, and it's the day after tomorrow. The Cubs are hosting the first ever industry night presented by Jim Beam. Restaurateurs, baristas, and concierge are encouraged to buy specially priced tickets for that game to receive a wooden coaster with a built-in bottle opener presented by Jim Beam. For tickets, visit Cubs.com/community nights.
Glass now's got a big strike zone at 6'8". 1 for 7 lifetime. Arrieta's 0-1. Awkward looking cut that time. Talking with Joe Madden in his office about Arrieta and the crossfire action. Ron Coomer, former big leaguer who was a right-handed hitter, he said, I would imagine Jake is particularly difficult for righties, and that is the case, and I'm sure he hides the ball pretty well with that crossfire delivery. But Joe said, decades ago that was frowned upon. Pitching coaches would try to change you. They hated it.
Well, they thought it would lead to injury.
I think what we found now is that you can get injured in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, it used to be they would draw a line right down the middle of the rubber, the mound, and they wanted your front leg to open up either on the line or beyond that line.
Swing and a miss. One particular pitching coach who will go unnamed, I coached with Joe back in the day. He had a guy who was a crossfire, and the pitching coach would just cringe every time, and Joe would say, "Relax, he's going to be okay." Joe said, "It never bothered me." But
yeah, well, there's these kind of truisms that get out there, and people just buy them without going deeper. And I think that's one way the game has changed a lot. There's a lot more research now, a lot more video and biomechanical research being done. I'm sure every club has an idea of what they feel like a perfect delivery looks like. And you may try to acquire guys or sign amateur free agents or guys in the draft that do that. But there's also something to be said for deception, a little funk, a movement that creates a little movement on your pitches. And that's a lot of times that's what that crossfire delivery does. You work across that firm front side, and you can create some leverage to get movement.
it's all about the landing spot.
Yeah, so he works on the first base side of the rubber and then drifts towards the third base side, and see, just contemplate the angle that it creates for the hitter. And I think that's why he's able to get such good spin on his breaking ball too.
Well, and I guess one maybe not so great analogy would be professional bowlers. They don't line up and roll the ball straight down the alley, right? They create an angle.
Jake Arrieta is the Earl Anthony of baseball.
Because when we all bowl for the first time, what do? Well, first of all, we probably hold it with two arms and squat down and just roll it right down the middle, and it wobbles all the way down the alley. And you knock down two pins if you have the bumpers in the gutter. One and two on Frazier. Seventh start, his fifth different starting position. He's played left, DH, second, third, today short. Fourth time he's been in the leadoff spot. Slicing drive to left. Diving attempt. Schwarber can't get it. Back on his feet quickly, however. Frazier making his way to third, and it is a two-out triple. That's not a bad risk to take, because the difference with two outs between a double and a triple is not that large, and you might as well go for it. If you're Kyle.
Yeah, I agree. I don't, I don't assume to know what Kyle was thinking. I think he probably was just trying to make a play. But yeah, absolutely, I agree that. I mean, if he doesn't leave his feet, that's a 2-base hit anyway. So it's an extra 90 feet, and it comes with 2 outs.
Here's Marte. Kelly Krall's dad was a professional bowler?
He was, guys.
I didn't know that.
He was, yes. And so is my grandma, actually, his mother. It runs in the genes, just it missed mine, I guess.
Were they crossfire bowlers?
They were, actually. I told our producer, Mark Brady, I have to get in on this conversation. I get a shout out to my dad, but he will turn 70 this year, and guys, he's never had an injury. So there's got to be something said for that, right?
Wow.
Sure.
I think 6 300s in his career.
Wow.
How about that?
That is pretty special.
Johnny Howard Sprague.
Howard Sprague.
1-1. You're too young to know that reference, Kelly.
Well, I know Dick Weber. That one counts for
there
something,
you go.
right?
Okay.
Johnny Petraglia. Oh man. Remember the old the Chris Schenkel and Bo Burton doing the call on Saturday afternoon.
There's the 1-1 to Marte. It's off the plate.
Ratings for that show are off the charts.
Yeah. Frazier with the triple. Standing at third with 2 outs.
Oof. Good pitch. Contreras having a little chat with Alan Porter, trying to do a little lobbying work. Now, the one pitch that's really difficult to make for Arrieta because of that crossfire delivery is to throw a fastball down and away to a right-handed hitter. So usually when he's going out there, it's with the cutter.
Line shot. This one will drop down, and Frazier is in. So Schwarber keeps Marte to a single, but it's now 4-2. He's just a really good hitter.
And see how real quiet with the lower body there, just uses the hands. The only thing lacking in his game is he doesn't take a lot of walks, but usually has a good on-base percentage because he hits for a high average and can steal bases. There's some power there. Tremendous defender.
Yeah, if you look at their current roster, top to bottom, I would say he would be your #1 candidate to be in an MVP conversation in these next couple years, and he just stole second. 47 last year. That's his second so far this season.
It's up to top speed in a hurry, doesn't he?
Real smooth.
Contreras realizing he had no time to really come out of his crouch. Just slings it down there.
In the air to right. Ben Zobrist keeping his feet moving. And the Pirates done in the third. They do get one on a couple of 2-out hits. It's now 4-2 Cubs.
Finally, high-speed action with a new name. The Cubs hit for the cycle in the first inning. A little, double by Schwarber. And nothing little about this one. That's an off-the-video board home run for Bryant, his first of the year. There's a three-bagger. That's Addison Russell, and then with the infield pulled in, Jason Hayward punches that single to the left. The Cubs hit for the cycle in the first and lead to 4-2. And they better get some more. It just feels like he might need 7 today.
By the way, not only did Howard Sprague bowl the 300 game, but it was after the power outage.
That's right.
So that's should count as a super perfect game in Mayberry back in the day.
Yeah, Howard was he was underrated.
Step it off. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Rizzo, fair ball. McCutchen will collect it in the corner. Anthony's going to stop at second. That's a double.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Put a little pressure on Glasnow. He was beginning to settle in after that first inning ambush. Put a little heat on him. See how he responds.
Rizzo bouncing off second, and a good play by Cervelli to keep that ball from the bricks. Glasnow, as JD mentioned, a 5th rounder 2011 out of high school, Santa Clarita, California. The high school, William S. Hart. And it is a school we have referenced a fair amount over the years. A baseball factory. All these guys attended Hart High School, including Bob Walk, who's just a few feet away from us. Pirates broadcast booth, Mike Montgomery in the Cubs bullpen.
Yeah, that school should have a reunion out here when the Pirates play the Cubs. Montgomery and this kid and Walkie.
Glasnow is 6'8". His shoe size is 16. Ben not happy with himself after a half swing strike. Hello, Bob Walk.
Yesterday was the anniversary of Bob's only big league home run. It came in this ballpark off Danny Jackson back in 1988, I believe.
Working with Joe Block on Pirates Radio today.
Make that 91. Set the record straight.
Yeah.
He told me he thought he had another one. He had a sinking line drive. The bases loaded. Willie McGee dove for it and rolled all the way to the wall, and Bob circled the bases. They ruled it a single and a 3-base error.
The legendary James Taylor returns to Wrigley Field Monday, July 17th with special guest Bonnie Raitt. Don't miss your chance to see this rock and roll Hall of Famer. Tickets are available now at Cubs.com/James Taylor. And just as an aside, if you're looking for Pirate Radio, it is an offshore station, and I'll have to give that to you privately. I'm allowed to give you the frequency over the air. Pitch. Tap foul. It's Russell on deck. And swing and a miss. Ball gets away, and Zobrist will reach. Rizzo advancing to third.
Cervelli got crossed up there. Guessing he was looking for the curveball, and it was a changeup, but it was at 87 miles an hour. We talk so often about catchers, when they're looking for a fastball, are able to react and handle a breaking pitch. This time he's looking for a curveball down and in, and it's a straight changeup. But at 87 miles an hour, Cervelli not able to handle it. Ruled a pass ball, but I'm just assuming that Glasnow crossed him up.
So first and third with nobody out. And one really stung at the wrist or forearm of Cervelli.
Cubs scored an unearned run in the first. They erred by the shortstop. Now they get this break on the cross up. That's the kind of stuff that really bites you on a day like today. So hard to keep the ball in the ballpark, to suppress offense. You don't want to be giving up extra outs.
Bell holding on Zobrist. Now fires over.
I did what you did the other day. I was looking down the right field line to see if anybody was up in the bullpen. There is no bullpen down there anymore.
Pause at the set. Pitch misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and one.
Yeah, a lot of cold beverages consumed at the ballpark today. The lakefront was really hopping this morning.
Two out in the left center. Here comes Rizzo. Zobrist on his way to third, and he will try to score. And he does. Cubs have their second 4-run lead of the day, 6-2.
Sometimes it's not about the walks, but lack of command in the strike zone. I mean, that is center cut. That's thigh high right over the middle of the plate. Really well struck by Russell. Harrison can't knock it down. And that's going to allow Zobrist to come steaming around third.
Still nobody out. Looked like Glasnow had settled in the second inning.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you know, maybe jumping to a little bit of a conclusion here, and it's hard to crawl inside somebody else's brain.
Hansen to Bell, with Russell advancing.
Good productive at bat there. Looks to me like when he gets in a little bit of trouble, it starts to overthrow. You know, when he had Arrieta up there in the first inning and punched him out looking, man, everything was free and easy. He was really getting extended with his delivery. Likewise with Baez, Schwarber, and Bryant through the rest of that second inning. But boom, the double by Rizzo. It just kind of looks to me like it set him on his heels a little bit.
Pirates bring their infield in. Trailing 6-2. Breaking ball misses low and outside.
Yeah,
on Contreras.
it's a desire to make the the unhittable pitch, and then you make a bad miss, not really a competitive pitch. And he's one of those guys that get him now while he's young and learning, because with his stuff and his upside, I'd imagine sooner or later he is going to figure it out, and he's going to be really tough to beat.
Cervelli able to knock down that pitch.
Must not have the Yadi Molina chest protector.
Nice butterfly save. Yeah, that joke will never get old.
No.
It might in St. Louis. 3-0.
Once you come out of your crouch with a baseball glued to your chest protector, that's fair game for the rest of your career.
Cardinals, by the way, are 3-7, and they are trailing 3-0 at Yankee Stadium in the 7th. Yankees have been hot. Looking for their 6th straight win. 3-0 swing. It's 3-1.
Changeup right there.
Bounce to third, freeze to the plate, and Russell is out, but the Cubs might want to take another look in the video room to see if Cervelli possibly had illegally blocked the slide.
Yeah, Joe's asking to wait. Joe hates that rule, but I think his philosophy is if the rule's in place, I'm going to take a look at it.
It looked good on that replay.
I think the high throw actually helped Cervelli a little bit, because it looked to me like he was set up blocking the plate, did not initially give him the lane, but then had to leave his feet to make the catch, and it created a little bit of a lane there for Russell, but it looks like they're going to look at it.
Okay.
Once he's got the ball, or is in the act of receiving the ball, he can absolutely block home plate. And Joe has said repeatedly over the last couple of years he would prefer that his base runners just go ahead and run over a catcher in that situation. And I think base runners, because of the collision rule, have become so sensitive that they forget all about that as an option. They just slide, and actually they're in greater peril of being hurt than the catchers are now on these bang bang plays at the plate. So infield in, 1 out, the contact play was on, so Russell did the right thing. You don't hesitate, you don't read the ball off the bat in this situation, you're going on contact. Sometimes if the throw is coming in from the right side of the infield, you can see it and slam on the brakes, get in a rundown, and try to get that back runner into scoring position. But when it's coming from the left side of the field, you're not sure what's going on behind you, so you just steam on ahead.
And Cervelli did block him, but it was after he had the ball.
Right, so there's two parts of it. Did he initially give him the lane? And maybe they're arguing that he was out in front of home plate and the back corner of the plate was available to him. So that's part one of that play. He's got to give the base runner something to look at, something to slide to.
Oh, they were challenging whether he tagged him before he got to the plate. Okay. Apparently he did.
Well, just disregard everything we just said.
Yeah.
Then. This is all about the tag.
Yeah.
But I do think there would have been a legitimate point to at least challenge on the other point.
Like he might have tagged him on both feet.
It's too bad, because I really feel like that was an Emmy Award-winning description of the collision play at home plate.
We are going to submit it. Two and 0 on Arrieta.
We got 3-0 on the board now.
3-0 on Arrieta.
You might have the green light. Well, according to our pitch tracker there, they've got it's 3-1, but they went about a little different way. Ball 3 was a strike, strike 1 was a ball.
Runner goes on 3-2 and a good hack by Arrieta.
Do you have the windows down on your drive to work today?
I did not. I had the AC on. So you don't have to worry about your hair getting messed up.
Good point.
On the way home, I'll do it. A roller to short. Frazier picks it up. And the inning is over. Russell with a 2-run double makes it 6-2 after 3. After a tough Game 1 loss against the Nashville Predators, and after the game wraps up on NBC, flip over to CSN for Blackhawks post-game live. Long way to go in that best of 7. 6-2 Cubs as we get into the 4th inning. This is the kind of day you didn't even have to see the flags. You walked into the press box, you could hear the flags ripping in the wind.
Yeah, I wish I had some baseball cards to flip. I might be able to get the pitcher's mound today. Just don't anticipate this early in the year.
Freeze takes a strike.
Freese is a guy who strikes out more than most. His walk rate a little better than league average typically. Yesterday he had great at-bats with a long at-bat before hitting an RBI double against Kyle Hendricks. And I guess indicative of a hot hitter, right? You know, a guy who maybe swings and misses a lot, but when he's locked in, he's able to fight off tough pitches, stay alive.
Bryant let it go. And Russell makes the play.
That's good instincts there by Bryant. The third basemen are taught to get anything they can get to moving to their left, but sometimes you know, if you have a sense of where your shortstop is, you're better off leaving that ball alone. We're taking a heck of a lunge for him to get this ball. It's got some top spin. He may have had to leave his feet, and if he did, he's not going to make a play.
The 0-1 to Bell.
Yikes.
That's a ball?
It was ruled a ball.
Thumped into center. Snaps in 0 for 16 for Bell. Cervelli, who hit what appeared to be a pretty routine fly to center, but he hit it high enough to catch that jet stream.
He has 2 home runs now, doubling his output from all of last year.
So that means last year he hit, let me do the math, 1.
Correct. Good ciphering. So, you know, if you see this ball off the bat of a guy like Bryant or maybe Rizzo, you go, okay. Typically that high trajectory is not going to fly out of here when it's hit by a guy like Cervelli, who doesn't have a lot of power. The wind definitely gave that one a big push. Cervelli's best home run year 2015 when he hit 7 in 451 at bats. So it's probably the guys like him whose their eyes really light up when they come here to Wrigley. The home run hitters, they know they're going to get theirs regardless of where they play. And if they don't hit many, they come here on a day like today. They're like, all right,
yep,
go time for me.
The one he hit last year was in late September. So he had gone almost the whole year without a home run. Years ago, Russell Martin left via free agency. Pirate fans wondering how in the world they were going to replace him. Well, Cervelli has been the guy.
And did good work as the backup in New York for a few seasons. Noted the lack of power, but you know, he takes a lot of walks. His lifetime 360 on base percentage.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Had the game winner yesterday. 2-run double, and apparently is a little under the weather today, but good enough to go. Wind blowing out, he probably did, yeah, I'm good, as you said, as he strikes out. 2 gone. Number 5 for Arrieta.
Over the top curveball that time gets the job done. Yeah, so that's the inner monologue for a player, right? He's a little under the weather, but and plus we're facing Arrieta, but the wind's blowing out. Got this young kid on the mound. We're trying to get straightened out.
Summer-like afternoon. Who wouldn't want to play on a day like this? One to Harrison. It's Trevor Williams getting loose in the Pirates bullpen. Euclides Rojas is their bullpen coach. That'll go foul. That's a happy camper. "81 degrees as we got started here on April the 15th. Ground ball to Bryant. Short throws to second. Baez covering. A hit, no runs to the bottom of the 4th. Cubs 6, Pirates 2.
Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball.
It's not been the easiest day for Tyler Glasnow in his Wrigley Field debut. He trails 6-2. He faces 9-1-2 for the Cubs. Baez, Schwarber, and Bryant. He's trying to replicate what he did in the 2nd inning. And it was those 3 batters he faced.
See it. He needs to be able to do that more frequently. Not just throw a strike, but throw it in a good spot.
Oh, 2.
So often young pitchers come to the big leagues and they think they have to trick hitters. Especially the kid with this kind of stuff. You know, you throw 97 and you can keep it down around the knees, paint the corner. You're on your way. Valley taking a little bit of a beating back there today.
Line in the 2-2 pitch. And count holds. By the 6'8" righty into his motion.
Bobby had about a 90% swing rate last year on 3 and 2. Scouting report would say don't throw him a strike here.
That's exactly what happened.
Report, yeah. Important things for a battery to know. When push comes to shove, is a player hacking or not? May show some patience early in that bat, may work a deep count, but ultimately a guy like Baez is likely going to swing. Just the opposite for Schwarber. Chase from time to time, but much more likely to force you into the zone.
And bail out of the way that time. 2-0. An event with Kyle last night. I spoke to 50 kids from local boys and girls clubs, and it was so great. Talked about perseverance and how he came back last year after the knee injury and said, even if I was down in the dumps, I was at the ballpark, I always made sure to put on a positive face for my teammates. He was able to come all the way back and participate and be a big contributor in the World Series.
You get a sense of how popular he is in the clubhouse with the comments from David Ross the other night when he was up here with us.
Yeah.
Saying, you know, that was a heck of a breaking pitch, by the way. One of the things that had him contemplating not retiring was being able to play a full year with a healthy Kyle Schwarber.
Well, the even numbered innings have treated Glasnow a lot better. Although Chris Bryant didn't treat him very well in the first inning. He pummeled a high fastball off the video board and left for a 2-run homer. He's going to hit right into the shift for the second consecutive at bat. And the Cubs go 1-2-3 for the second time, leading 6-2. Chicago.com, presented by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. Sights and sounds of Cubs baseball here at Wrigley Field. And there has been a playoff-like buzz since we got back home Monday, and it's only April. Hansen leads it off.
That'll probably stand apart. Whoa. I don't think Addy was not aware of Baez's presence, or Baez wasn't calling it, and Addy didn't want to take anything for granted. Again, with that wind pushing that ball all around, I guess for a time it looked like it was going to be Russell's ball, but ultimately drifted over to Baez.
I hate to confirm the replay challenge that Joe lodged back in the bottom of the third. They did look at both the home plate collision rule and the tag. So our extended analysis,
so we didn't waste our time,
was not moot. (3-0) on the pitcher, Glass now.
Keep our bowling analogy alive. It's like trying to hit that 5-pin spare. Supposed to be real easy, but when you're 3-0 to the opposing pitcher, sometimes the 3-0 pitch is a tough one to make because you have negative thoughts swirling around in your brain. Yeah,
he really got away.
He just tried to ease that one in there and didn't finish it.
So that is his first walk issued today.
That's what happens when you tell yourself what not to do as opposed to what to do. Negative thought comes in. Whatever you do, don't walk this guy. In golf, whatever you do, don't go left. No, caddy, don't tell me that. Tell me to hit it at the TV tower.
Rizzo plays behind Glasnow at first. 1-0 on Frazier.
Yeah, if Glasnow gets a little careless down there, Contreras will pick him off. He just waits for opportunities like this with an inexperienced base runner or an overly aggressive one.
The Blue Jays won today. Can you believe it?
Second W of the year for them.
Yeah, 2-9. Snapped a 7-game losing streak. 2-1 over the Orioles, who tied the game in the top of the ninth. And the Orioles, or the Blue Jays rather, won it. And a home run. Back to Arrieta. 1-6-3. And the Pirates are done. The Henry Morales home run in Toronto. 6-2 Cubs in the fifth. Later on in Los Angeles, 70th anniversary of his major league debut. The Braves last night opened SunTrust Park with a 5-2 win over the San Diego Padres. The Brewers are over 500, first time since they ended the 2014 season. They are trailing late at Cincinnati 7-5 in the 8th inning. Eric Thames has homered twice today for Milwaukee.
Jackie Robinson lettered in 4 sports at UCLA. Standout in football, basketball, track. I think he won the NCAA long jump championship while there. Actually played semi-pro football when he got out of college in Hawaii, and then the Pacific Coast League Football League. Dabbled in that for a while.
Jackie died in 1972, born in 1919.
Yeah, young man, 50-something when he died. He'd done some TV work. Was vice president of Chock full of Nuts Coffee.
Rizzo has been hit 3 times his last 5 plate appearances.
They're trying to backdoor breaking ball, and he just tugged it across the plate.
Ball 1 on Zobrist. He is 0 for 2. He reached on an error in the first, reached on a strikeout pass ball in the third, and has scored 2 runs. Cut and a miss.
One changeup after another.
Count level 2-2.
John Lester will pitch for the Cubs tomorrow. Jamison Tyon for the Pirates. Both have sub-2 ERAs here in the early going. Two starts each. Still looking for that first W, but good work. The big righty for the Pirates and the big lefty for the Cubs. Rizzo's getting jumpy down there, yeah. Early in the year, legs feeling fresh. Big Riz was thinking about it. And I like the aggressive lead. And you know, if you're in 3-2 go mode. It used to be base runners were taught, you know, you don't have to get a big jump. You're not trying to steal a base. Don't get picked off. Well, with a right-handed pitcher on the mound, I think it makes perfect sense to try to get a big jump just in case there's a swing and miss at home plate.
He runs, and that's ball 4.
See how long Hurdle stays with his young righty. He had Williams up last inning.
Big day already for Addison Russell, and Ray Searage will make a visit. Triple, double, 3 RBIs for Russell.
Yeah, so our Snoop came in the bullpen. Nobody was up, but with that phone call to the pen, I'm sure they've got action now, and Searage out there just to buy time for Williams or whoever will start to throw out there.
You know how in the weather business you hear meteorologists talk about the conditions are ripe for this event. The conditions today are very conducive for a cycle, especially for a guy who has tripled and doubled already.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the wind that's going to help launch the ball out of the ballpark. Russell's had a number of really good at bats on this homestand.
In the last 37 years, the Cubs have had just 2 cycles. You know, Chris Bryant kind of had the super, whatever you call it, full house, super cycle, 3 homers, 2 doubles. But Andre Dawson in 1987 and Mark Grace 1993, the last 2 Cubs to hit for the cycle.
Well, this ballpark in particular does not yield a lot of triples. Right field corner for sure, but the alleys being as tight as they are, rarely do you see a triple out there.
Yeah, as you rank the 4 different hits and the likelihood, I think the single and home run would be way ahead of the triple and double today. And Addison has the 2 most difficult already. Marte with the catch. That's the first out. Everybody holding. Whether the Cubs are home or on the road, guided tours of legendary Wrigley Field are available. Tours include visits in various seating areas, press box, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses over 100 years of history. Book your tour at Cubs.com/tours today.
Remember the conversation we had with Rob Manfred the other night, and he was talking about pace of play and action in the game and trying to, address that. The Yankees today, the first 12 batters of the game either walked or struck out.
Wow. The first 12 didn't put a ball in play?
That's right.
They stay out of the double play here. Throw to second. They'll only get 1. So Zobrist is forced. Rizzo maybe a little banged up.
Yeah, something's bugging him.
Hit by a pitch. Head first dives back into first base. Just kind of taking it easy. Yeah, a little wince. First and third, 2 gone. And low on Contreras. The first Cub, by the way, in the modern era to hit for the cycle was Hack Wilson in 1930. Jimmy Ryan did it twice before 1900. Billy Williams hit for the cycle in 1966, and it was a natural cycle, the only such cycle in the entire franchise history. Double or single, double, triple, homer in that order. Three and two. Arrieta on deck. Hayward runs with 2 outs. Ball 4.
Three walks in the inning. A combination of things. One, command for sure, but Cervelli, well, he's calling for a lot of off speed and change ups. hoping to get these Cubs hitters hacking in fastball counts, and they're just not biting. Get it ready here, Jake.
Two strikes. Short right. McCutchen to end the inning. Without a hit, the Cubs load the bases. They do not score. It's 6-2 after 5.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field, your Miller Lite game report. Arrieta back out on the bump here in the 6th with a 4-run lead. We've talked a lot about how much he loves doing Pilates, but another hobby of Jake's that you may not have known about is how much he enjoys improv. And actually Thursday night after the team's game, Jake joined Second City to try out a little bit of his improv, something he says he really enjoys. I followed up and asked him, what is it about it? And he says, you know, I think my heart starts racing even more when I'm doing this than it does when I'm on the mound. He goes, Joe Maddon's whole uncomfortable motto that he has going on this year, I really feel out of my comfort zone when I do that. But guys, Jake's even gonna join one of the Super Trooper actors when they head out to LA later in the year and give his hand at it when he's in LA. And he says, I don't know, maybe it's something after baseball's all said and done that I could try out.
Yeah, it has really been pervasive in this clubhouse, getting guys out of their comfort zone. David Ross, as we know, just retired, is Dancing with the Stars, and told us that it's the most terrifying thing he's ever done. You and I think, have passed that point. We like our comfort zones, right?
Yeah, real glaring need to get outside my comfort zone. Who is it? A couple of the Cubs are going to be on season finale of Chicago Fire.
Oh, nice.
I think it may be Bryant, and it may be Jake. So Jake does improv. I didn't know that. So he's one of. They're up on stage, and a man walks into a bar, and go scene.
Right. Yeah. 2-1 on Marte. Here it comes outside. 3-1. Yeah, we've got to work on that bite up here in the booth for JD. Foul. Pedro Strop waving at us. Hi, fellas.
Yeah, there he is. He's back. High bullpen. Stay loose out there, boys.
Golfed in the air to left. Schwarber will not have a play. It's gone. Marte with his second RBI of the afternoon. 6-3.
Yeah, that pitch appears to be on the inside corner, but Marte able to get those hands pulled in and deliver that blow. There's your forward home run replay. It's number 2 on the year for Marte. That
was a curve on McCutchen. 0 for 2 this afternoon. 1 for 6 in the series. Ground ball right to Bryant. Out number 1.
Well, this little guy's working some angles, I think.
Chris Bosio will make a visit.
Yeah, most days, 3-4 run lead with Arrieta out there, you feel very comfortable. But again, not today. The way this ballpark is playing, he's at 92 pitches. If he gets through this inning, this will likely be it.
White Sox have just 1 hit today. Ervin Santana in Minnesota. 5-0 Twins in the 8th.
Sox only going with a 2 Garcia outfield today. They had 3 Garcias out there in their ball game last night.
Phillies beat the Nationals 4-2 in Washington. And that game started 9 o'clock this morning. The game's been over for a while. Arrieta behind Freeze. 3-1.
Good look, that shot from behind home plate of Arrieta's delivery, and you see how tough it can be for a hitter to pick up the ball, the way he again throws across his body, and also the way he rocks his shoulders. Talk a lot about the comparison between a merry-go-round and a Ferris wheel.
Fly to right field. It's Zobrist. 2 gone.
Guys that are very rotational, I think it's a little easier to see the ball.
That'll be the last pitch thrown by Arrieta. Here's Joe Madden. So Arrieta will leave with a 3-run lead and get a nice ovation, looking for his 3rd win in as many starts to begin the season. Weber's sauces and seasonings, call grilling flavor up to the bigs.
Ryan Dunsing made his Cubs debut yesterday, was activated off the disabled list. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout for the veteran left-hander. Turns the switch hitter Bell around to the right side.
Ground ball toward the middle, scooped by Russell. Nice work by Dunsing. Didn't even get a chance to talk about him. That's probably the way he likes it, right? He's a reliever. 6-3 Cubs. Cubs continue their homestand as they open up a 3-game series against the Milwaukee Brewers. Coverage beginning at 6:30 with Cubs pregame live presented by Fields Auto Group, or stream the game at csnchicago.com.
Well, here's a right-hander Trevor Williams into the ball game. It is his 3rd appearance. He has worked 4 innings, allowed 5 hits, a 6.75 ERA. Had a cup of coffee with the Pirates last year. They acquired him in October of 2015 in a deal with the Marlins.
Was a double switch. John Jaso also into the game at first. Served into shallow right. It's a base hit. So Baez on for the first time here today. A lot of traffic for the Cubs offense.
Down off the end of the bat. I believe it cracked his bat, but it dies a hero as this ball dies in front of McCutchen out there in the shallow right.
$41,814 the paid crowd today. Inside throw to first, and Baez found a way back in. The throw beat him, but he has a way of becoming invisible.
Yeah, Jaso indicating to the Pirate dugout that they should challenge this one, so we're going to see. Tries to tiptoe, sneak in the back door here.
Guessing they will challenge. I guess not. And it did look like he got back in. So his tagging plus minus continues to go up. One and two to Schwarber.
Williams will turn 25 in 10 days. Big guy, 6'3", 230.
Schwarber called out on strikes.
The MLB.com ballpark app is your free, secure, and convenient way to instantly access Cubs tickets via your mobile device. Download the app at the App Store or Google Play and begin using Ballpark today. For more information, visit Cubs.com/ballpark-app.
The Cardinals dropped to 3-8. Scored 2 runs late, but came up short. 3-2. The Yankees beat them. CC Sabathia over Carlos Martinez.
I want to give a shout out to Joliet native, our colleague, the fine color man for the San Diego Padres, Mark Grant. Working hard in his hotel room in Atlanta today in preparation for tomorrow's Braves Padres tilt. It had to be fun, the opening of a new ballpark there in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Henry Aaron was on hand. We saw John Smoltz here the other day. He said he was heading back to Atlanta for that event.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 to Bryant.
Made the bold 2-homer day for Bryant earlier, so need a little hanging slider here. Where are those folks?
Reachable. Indians still batting in the first against Justin Verlander, and it's already 3-0 Cleveland.
Kluber today, I believe, for Cleveland. You mentioned the terrible start for the Blue Jays, but nobody's gotten off. It seems like every year somebody comes out of the gate 10-1. Nobody's off to that great of a start.
No, pretty much every division leader is 7-4 ish, 7-3. First team to 8 wins. Looks like the Cincinnati Reds, 7-5 over Milwaukee. 8-4.
I think an important year for Brian Price, the manager of the Reds. Not so much that they have to, be in an upper division club, but to show improvement. And some speculation the last couple of years that he was on thin ice.
Strike 3.
Williams impressive here this afternoon. Back-to-back strikeouts looking, and he's doing a real nice slide ball right over the outside corner. Get your dauber down, KB. Get him next time. Wow, yeah. Rizzo a little bewildered by that strike call from Alan Porter, and I think a lot of times with Riz, he's so close to the plate that influences the umpire. They call the pitch in relation to him as opposed to the relationship to home plate. See, in a Honda pitch cast, that one was clearly off the outside corner.
You hope, if you're Anthony, that Williams finds the inside corner, that would be considered a ball. Doesn't always work that way. Delayed steal, and Baez is out. He wants Joe to take a look. He's not moving from second. Seen no indication yet from the dugout. And if you tagged him, he's out.
Yeah, and Javi may be right, but I don't know if as they review the video if they're going to see enough.
Oh,
there
they don't, you know what? They don't have a challenge. Joe lost his challenge earlier on the play at the plate. Yep. So still 6-3.
Official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
Pirates took the opener yesterday after going 1-8 in this ballpark last year. Cubs lead 6-3. Dunsing accepts that throw from Rizzo. So he's faced 5 batters since coming off the DL yesterday, and he's retired all of them. He had to be up at 5:30 yesterday morning to fly here from Des Moines. First time he had ever been in Wrigley Field, and he is thrilled to be here.
His out to pitch ratio is outstanding. He's thrown about 10 pitches to get those 5 outs. 2 here today.
Yeah, 10 pitches to get the 5. Harrison, strike.
And that's what Brian Dunsing has been throughout his big league career, more of a pitch to contact style. Not a lot of strikeouts. Decent ground ball rate.
Well, I'm sure never fun for a veteran like Dunsing to spend a lot of time in the minor leagues, but as he was rehabbing with Iowa, he got a real good look at Ian Happ, who's hit 5 home runs already.
Sometimes it can be fun for a veteran guy to go down to the minor leagues. You just don't want to make a habit out of it.
Right.
It'd be a little refreshing to go down and relive what that's all about.
By the way, Iowa was no hit last night by 3 New Orleans pitchers.
The baby cakes?
They were baby caked for the first time since 2002.
Do you know the roots of this nickname, the baby cakes?
It's a food item, I think.
Like the king cake, where they put the baby in the little king cake. Is that what it's all about?
Center field, and in the basket for the Pirates' 3rd home run, 6-4.
Harrison's first of the year. Backdoor slider, that's belt high. Ford home run replay. Jason Hayward is the cue here. Watch him. He breaks as if there's going to be a play, and then he starts to break it down, realizing that it's going to carry on out of here.
Just thinking before that swing, 3-run lead on a wind day like this is like a 1-run lead.
Yeah, it is days like this that have given Wrigley Field its reputation. We know, being here as often as we are, that that's not really accurate. That this place plays pitcher friendly more than it does hitter friendly. But on certain days, it's a hitter's paradise.
Yeah, so about 2 out of every 3 games, the wind is blowing in a normal season. But I think, wind blowing in 6-7 miles an hour, you can still hit the ball out of the ballpark. Certain days the wind blows in really hard. You can't hit it out of here with a canoe paddle. But when it blows out, or I would say even if the wind doesn't blow, because of the 368 to the alleys, it is very much a hitter's park.
Right, it's a home run ballpark for sure. But it varies from one year to the next. You'll get those park factors, and whether a stadium is playing hitter friendly or pitcher friendly. In my experience in recent years, it's been more pitcher friendly.
Jaso's a tying run. His first plate appearance today's 0 for 14 on the season. The finalists for the New Orleans nickname change, according to the Washington Post piece when they did make the change. The Cajun Crawfish, Po' Boys, Tailgaters, Night Owls, Red Eyes, and King Cakes. And the baby cakes does refer to the figurine hidden in a king cake. And that is a Mardi Gras connection. They were the Zephyrs, right? They moved from Denver.
Yeah, it should have been the beignet.
The NBA team was the Jazz, and they went to Utah, and they got the Hornets. The Hornets then ended up back as the nickname of the team in Charlotte. They were the Bobcats, and then New Orleans Pelicans now. So, yeah, a lot of musical chairs with sports nicknames. Two favorites, though, in minor league baseball are still the Lansing Lugnuts and the Montgomery Biscuits. High drive, trouble in the air, and run down by Hayward. Stayed in the park. Out number 2. With what we've seen today, especially with the Pirates, when you hit one in the air, you feel like it's going to go. And unfortunately, it didn't.
Maybe helping more towards left end. This one, which is more right center. Off the bat, I thought it was going to go. Stays in the yard, and Hayward able to track it down.
So it's Adam Frazier, and before he bats, Chris Bosio will head out to the mound. Relive the magic of last year's historic run through the official 2016 championship season. Fly the W book, which features personal essays by Tom Ricketts, Theo Epstein, and others, as well as never before seen photos. For more information, visit Cubs.com/flythewbook. We both got our copies today.
It's a must-have for any Cub fan. You need to have it.
Put that on
put on your coffee table, right next to your coffee table book about coffee tables. Yeah, it's a handsome tome. Get your weight work in too. It's heavy.
There it is. Boy, it's big and very heavy.
Be under the Christmas tree in a lot of houses this winter.
Hanson at first, 2 outs, 2-run ball game. 2-1.
Yeah, so we talked earlier about not running because of the way the wind's blowing, but Frazier doesn't hit for power at all. Hanson's a speed guy. How comfortable he is running against a lefty.
Well, if Dunsink cannot get Frazier, cannot imagine he'll face Marte. Strop is cranking it up in the Cubs bullpen.
Brian, for much of his career, a starting pitcher, first with the Twins, then the Orioles. Just a little bit with Baltimore, actually all out of the pen last year. In Minnesota that he worked as a starter. Kind of a swing man.
Runner takes off and Frazier fouls. Scored 4 times in the first inning. Pirates, though, just don't want to go away. Outside, throw to second. Safe. Hansen steals second base.
Yeah, had some big stolen base seasons in the minor leagues. Was considered to have the best speed in their organization as a minor leaguer. Doesn't always translate to success as a base stealer at the big league level.
Three-two, base hit, right field. Hansen will score. It's a 1-run ball game. Stolen base looming large, leading to the Pirates' 5th run.
The components were in place. Hansen's speed. Frazier is a contact guy, tough guy to finish off. Didn't make great contact, but he put it in play, and it worked out for the Pirates. And that will do it for Brian Dunsing this afternoon.
We will have a pitching change. Cubs have played a lot of tight ball games early on this season, and another one here on a windy Saturday. For Pittsburgh here in the 7th inning, and Pedro Strop will make his 6th appearance in the early going.
Yeah, he's had a few days off. Last pitched on Monday against the Dodgers. He was busy prior to that. 3 2/3 innings thus far. A couple of hits, 4 walks, a 4.91 ERA. Marte hit a home run last time up. He's got 2 knocks today. He is 2 out of 13 in his career against Pedro Strop.
Rizzo will hold on Frazier at first as he represents the tying run. Marte has singled, homered, stolen a base, knocked in 2. Lead by Frazier, not going, and the slider is off the inside corner for ball 1. And he's got a huge lead. Pitch is high. Pirates have been fairly aggressive in this series on the bases. This might be one spot though, JD, where you got to be right with Marte at the plate. His ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And a 2-0 count at that. Frazier not running and a swing and a miss.
Yeah, I think the dynamic's a little different when the combination was Frazier at the plate, Hansen on the bases. Hansen quicker than Frazier, although Frazier's capable, and Frazier doesn't hit for power. In this situation, Marte, we've already seen him go out of the ballpark, and he certainly has extra base power.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Now with 2 strikes, hitter less likely to do damage. Maybe they encourage Frazier to run here.
The wind may be blowing harder than it has all day, straight out to center. Marte almost looked like he tried to get hit by that pitch.
Yeah, he gets hit a lot, and he's more than willing to hang in there and take one for the team. Slider backed up on Strop, and yeah, he was willing to leave that elbow hanging out there.
Three-two runner goes, and inside ball 4. So that'll bring up McCutchen.
Joe Madden asking Anthony Rizzo to go in and try to settle Strop down. He really flew open on that last one. Now Pedro is vocationally challenged, really hitting his spots.
Von Nova is scheduled to pitch in St. Louis against Lance Lynn on Monday.
Didn't try to overthrow that slider, got on top of it. Beautiful pitch.
By the way, it's Juan Nicasio, not Nova, up in the Pirates bullpen. That was odd, but one of their starters would be throwing in the 7th. The 0-2. 1-2.
It's the other number 42.
2 on, 2 down. Here's the pitch. Well, McCutchen is one of those hitters, JD, by getting him to swing and miss at the slider to go to 0-2, it's almost like you can fool him once.
Right.
But certain guys will just keep swinging with 2 strikes. He's not one of those.
No, and he's a savvy enough hitter to know that pretty good chance you're going to go back there.
In the air to left. It's deep, and it is gone. That is a 3-run homer for McCutchen. And it was on a slider, and the Pirates have grabbed their first lead today. Wow.
Yeah, well, and you made a great point about his ability to lay off the chase slider. So Strop, feels like he has to make a better pitch or get one in the zone. And McCutchen able to lift that thing to left on a day where it doesn't take a whole lot to get out of here.
Ford home run replay. It's just a matter of would it be fair or foul. And he got it into the bleachers to give the Pirates a 2-run advantage. The Pirates homered 5 times in their first 10 games combined. They've hit 4 today. Cervelli, Marte, Harrison, and now McCutchen. But it's the 3-run homer that's the big one, right? You're going to give up some solos on a day like this. Broken bat roller. Russell to Rizzo. Time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Mazda. We go to the big board today.
For this afternoon stretch, please direct your attention to the outfield video boards.
Cubs trail on a piece of Cubs history as part of the Cubs' ongoing effort to restore and modernize Wrigley Field. Several sections of seats have been or will be removed. These seats are now available to purchase in sets of 2. Visit cubs.com/seat sale for more information. That's now Williams. Now the veteran right-hander Juan Nicasio.
Trevor Williams is the catcher of record now for the Pirates. Eight to 6 Pittsburgh. They were down 6-2 at one point. Good start. 7th inning. Rizzo with a base hit. 3rd consecutive reach.
A double walk, solid single for Anthony today.
How many different ways can you reach base? Well, Zobrist has done it 3 times and is 0 for 2. Reaching on an error, pass ball on a strikeout, and a walk.
Let's go for catcher's interference here.
Okay.
He's got his World Series hole available to him. Punch it down the third baseline. Casio made 12 starts for the Pirates last year. Struggled in that capacity, had more success out of the bullpen.
Two and one. Real good friend of mine. I grew up a Cub fan and watched Jack Brickhouse every day. And I recalled one particular game. He said kind of summed up his childhood. I think it was 9th inning. Cubs were down or tied or down a run in the 9th. Bases loaded, 2 outs. There's the 2-1. It's a strike. Crowd on its feet. Jack said, you know, there are 12 ways the Cubs can win this game. A walk, a hit, an error, a catcher's interference, pass ball, a wild pitch. Here it is. Called strike 3. Gave all the different scenarios.
All the ways you could draw to that inside straight.
Yeah. Two. Fly ball to right. McCutcheon still back. He's got it on the warning track. Rizzo tagging. Good play to get to second. They don't have to get all back just yet.
Yeah, that proved to be a great play by Rizzo. I think his initial read was that it was going to be a fairly routine yet deep fly ball. So the tag is a smart play. And then I imagine he had a moment of anxiety about this thing might bounce over his head and it may be a ball that I could have scored on had I not retreated to tag. But it turns out to be a great play as McCutcheon is able to run it down just in front of the wall and he can cruise on into scoring position.
Russell, triple-double fly out, 3 RBIs. This would be a good time for the homer. He tried.
Homer swing, got the slider. Looking for the heater. That's primarily what you'll see from Nicasio. Mid-90s fastball and a hard slider. He has a changeup, but won't use it much, especially when working out of the bullpen.
One of the most famous homers Cubs history was the homer in the Gloamin. Might be looking for a homer in the Blowin today with the wind. Harrison makes the grab, 2 outs.
Pirates bullpen got the job done yesterday. 3 scoreless innings, but for the most part, they have really struggled this year. It wasn't easy for them yesterday. A lot of traffic in the last couple of innings.
Oh, and 1. Good numbers for Hayward against Nicasio. Yesterday, the Cubs stranded 11, including the bases loaded in each of the final 2 innings. Two and 1. Five stranded today, 3 out of 10. With runners in scoring position. Ground ball right to Frazier. Nicasio, after the leadoff single, retires the next 3. 8-6 Pirates.
Is located right here in Chicagoland and rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. E-Click lending, boom! Your mortgage just happened. Boom is an appropriate word for today. Ball flying out of the ballpark. Comes Koji Uehara for the 6th time. Doing what he does, striking people out at a high rate. He's got a 0 ERA. Dunsing charged with 3 runs on 3 hits. In 1 inning of work, Pedro Strop, a third of an inning, 1 hit, 2 runs. Charged to Pedro.
Phil Gosselin first as the pinch hitter. In the pitcher spot. And he bunts. Bryant will barehand the throw. Not in time. And we are in the 8th. Joe has lost his challenge, but we can do a crew chief challenge.
Pretty play all the way around. Nice bunt. Good play by Bryant. Boy, awfully close there at first base.
Well, Joe will not ask for a challenge. Brings up Cervelli. He homered in the 2nd, and that was his 2nd of the year after hitting 1 last season. Boy, he turned away. It looked like a strike, and Koji couldn't buy the call from Alan Porter.
Belly, a good contact guy. Pirates executed a beautiful hit and run play in the ball game yesterday. A little bit of a riskier proposition because Uehara gets so many swings and misses. Certainly wouldn't do it here on 2-0.
Fly to right. Wind is going to keep this ball in play, and it'll be Zobrist for the out. Gets behind the ball and keeps the runner at first. Harrison, Cincinnati native, and after going to Princeton High School, attended the University of Cincinnati. The Cubs drafted him in the 6th round of the 2008 draft. Eventually got dealt to the Pirates and made his big league debut in 2011. He was an all-star in 2014. 315 that season.
Won't be too long. They'll have some company in terms of the Bearcat alumni in the big leagues, the way Ian Happ is going down at Iowa.
I think so. Hudson. In terms of the OPS, that was an outlier for Harrison. 837 in 2014, but his career OPS is in the low 700s.
Well, the old part of it is going to be driven by his batting average because he almost never walks.
He slugged .490 that year. high. It's 1-2. Pop up right side. Rizzo backpedaling. Baez makes the grab right behind him. Hansen singled off the lefty Dunsing, so batting right-handed at the time. In the 7th, back to the left side here in the 8th. About the flagpole in the center. On the top of that board, it is really wobbly. It's altogether possible we might not see a windier day the rest of the year in terms of the wind blowing out. It has not died down for even 5 minutes since we started. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
So good against left-handed hitters with that split finger pitch. Great arm action, really sells it. They know it's a go-to pitch for them. They still don't recognize it.
I wonder if a switch hitter might treat Uehara like a knuckleballer and bat right-handed.
Yeah, not a bad idea. One of the reasons why Joe Madden felt like he had coverage against lefties while Dunsing was on the DL. He had Montgomery as the only lefty out there. But he likes Grimm against lefties, really likes Uehara with the splitter against lefties.
Gosselin the runner at first. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Pirates strand 1. They lead by 2 in the 8th. The home run feature, and Chris Bryant, his first of what will be 2 today, according to Jim DeShays, and his first of the season. That was in the opening inning when the Cubs scored 4 runs. Daniel Hudson is in for the Pirates.
We get a walk-off out of Chris in the 9th, maybe? Is that asking too much?
No, I don't think so.
There's Hudson, the former Diamondback, and prior to that, a White Sox.
Jordy Mercer's playing short. Frazier has gone to second, and Hansen is out. High drive pulled foul.
Hudson in year 1 of a 2-year deal with the Pirates. 3-2 with a 5.22 ERA for the Diamondbacks last year. He appeared in 70 ball games.
Swing and a miss. With the increased importance of bullpens around baseball, I find it to be the most fascinating, maybe fertile area of any team to have some in-depth conversations about. We have talked about a lot of struggles for a lot of teams here in the early going. It is, I think, the one area of any ball club, JD, that can change pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, a couple of reasons. I think one, there's a lot of turnover typically from one year to the next in a lot of major league bullpens. And two, the sample size, the body of work you get from one year to the next, not necessarily enough to get it to really be able to dig in on what you can expect from a player the next year.
You got him.
Bullpens tend to run hot and cold. I mean, I think you get a starting pitcher who pitches 190 to 210 innings. He does it for a couple of years. You have a pretty good idea of what you're dealing with. Some of these relief guys that make 40 appearances, maybe they throw 38 in the 3rd innings, and one year they light it up and you're like, this guy's got it all figured out, and then you dig a little deeper into the numbers and you see, man, he got away with a lot of hard contact. Depending on how he was used, maybe the next year they try to step his game up in terms of putting him into more high leverage situations. He doesn't react well to that.
Tommy La Stella off the bench. Well, it also works both ways. I'm sure there are lots of guys over the years who have felt like they didn't get enough chances. That they were removed from the closer role or a setup position, or even from a roster with that small sample size. Yet if you're in a bullpen and you don't have a ton of responsibility, there's a fairly good chance over the course of time you'll get that chance because the guy in front of you will be that other guy.
Yeah, there does seem to be a stepladder approach to the way bullpens are used, and a lot of it is economics. As guys become 8th inning guys and closers, they start to cost a lot of money, and teams go, well, wait a minute, we've got this guy who's been working the 6th inning for a couple of years. He throws 97 miles an hour too. Let's run him out there with his, $850,000 contract or his 1.2, as opposed to paying this fine gentleman over here $14 million. And then you got to let the manager play with it for a while too in the early season to see how it's all going to shake out.
Outside, 2-2. Hudson twice having Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, he kind of slings it up there. Looks, works under the ball. We had the conversation earlier about Jake and throwing across his body and how pitching coaches used to freak out and they thought that would lead to injury. Well, the same thing with Hudson, and he has been hurt, but it's the kind of delivery when you watch it, you go, gee, it's just like it's putting a lot of stress on the elbow.
Caught by Jaso as he just robbed LaStella.
Stella continues to show the ability to get very few at bats and still have good at bats. Hit the ball hard. Bad luck here. Can't hit it much harder, and Jaso there to make a play on him.
Cubs have yet to lose consecutive games. Going to need a late inning comeback to avoid their second straight loss. How many did they go last year? Didn't they go like a month without losing 2 in a row? It's easy to find. Two strikes to Baez.
Yeah, well, they set the tone early, didn't they? They came out of the gate, what, 20-something and 5, and they weren't just winning ball games; they were thumping people. Guy will move a refrigerator for you.
Cubs got swept in a doubleheader on May 11th. Games 32 and 33 last year after a 25-6 start. Pop up. It was caught by Frazier, and the Cubs are down in order in the 8th, trailing 8-6. Working with his team trailing by 2 runs.
Davis working for the 6th time. He's had a couple of save chances, has converted both. Finished the ball game against the Dodgers on Thursday. That was a 4-0 ball game, so it was not a save situation. 1 scoreless, allowed a hit, had a strikeout.
We have a perfecto alert. Tyler Chatwood Sent down the first 15 he's faced. The Rockies lead the Giants 5-0 after 5 in San Francisco.
Rockies playing winning baseball, but man, they continue to lose people to the disabled list. John Gray, fine young starting pitcher, stress fracture in the foot. They expect him to be out at least a month.
Wide open stance for Jaso. Fouls back. 1-2.
Fastballs, cutters, and curves from Davis.
Gets Jaso. Frazier with one of the bigger hits in this game, a 2-out single off Brian Dunsing in the 7th inning. Strop then walked Marte, followed by the McCutchen go-ahead 3-run homer.
That's a devastating curveball that he has. Hard, tight spin, very difficult for the hitters to recognize.
After Frazier hit, knocked in Hansen. At the time made it a 1-run game. Davis with a 1-2 swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Davis.
Jake Arrieta was in position to pick up his 3rd win of the year. Made no decision for him. Glass now, the starter for the Pirates, also with a no decision. He gets off the hook because of the late runs for the Pirates. He went 5 innings today. The young righty did, allowed 6 runs, 4 earned.
Pirates offense kind of bailing out the starter Glass now, who battled. He got through 5 innings. 4 of the 6 runs were earned. We weren't sure he was going to get out of the first.
Yeah, his ability to hang in there really a key component in this game for the Pirates, because it looked like it was going to be a very short day for him. We talked about it at the time. He doesn't have a lot of experience, and on a day like today with the wind blowing out, how much of a beating would Clint Hurdle let him take? It's a lot to inflict on a young man's psyche when he's trying to establish himself at the big league level, but he settled in and stayed competitive through 5.
Two and two. called, strike 3. Marte didn't like it. Davis strikes out the side. Last chance, trailing by a pair.
Johnson taking over the closer's role for the Pirates last season after they traded Mark Melanson along. So far this year, he's 3 for 3 in save opportunities, including yesterday's ball game. He's worked 5 innings, allowed 4 hits and 3 walks.
It was a bizarre inning for him. He got the first 2 guys, Almora and Baez. Then he walked Schwarber. Bryant reached on an error. He hit Rizzo, and then Zobrist grounded out to end the game. So able to preserve a 2-run lead by stranding the bases loaded. He's got a 2-run lead here today. And it's the top of the order.
So Kyle Schwarber, we talked a lot about him throughout spring training and here in the early going in the leadoff spot. His patience, discipline, exactly what you're looking for here. Not some patience. He went there and took a whack at one.
Ball was foul, bat was fair.
They're swinging at strikes, I guess. I think Tony Watson, a big part of the Pirates bullpen for a number of years in a setup role. Good sinker, outstanding changeup, so he competed well against both left and right-handed hitters. Typically does not get hurt by the long ball. But last year he did. He allowed 10 home runs in 67 innings of work.
Here's his 0-2. Slightly deflected. Throw to first in time. It'll go 1 to 4 to 3. Frazier threw him out.
Well, I thought he was going to beat it. Brandon Hyde pointing towards the Cubs dugout as if he thought Kyle had beaten the play at first base. Yeah, looked like they got him.
Yeah. Here's Bryant. 2-run homer first inning. 2 groundouts and a strikeout since. Fly ball out in the left center. It's carrying and it is gone. JD said he'd hit 2. He's done it, and the Cubs are within 1.
Well, he hadn't hit any coming in. The odds were in my favor. He's a good man to put your money on. first one went way up off the video board. This time down towards the end of the bat. No doubt got a little help from the wind. But it got the job done. Into the basket she goes.
He'll take it. Get it up in the air. You got to buy a couple of lottery tickets tonight, I think. Eighth time he's hit at least 2 in a game. Rizzo takes a strike. One swing game now.
The old line in the clubhouse was, you should go looking for wallets tonight. Anthony's been dialed in pretty well here this afternoon. He struck out first time up, but double, walk, single since then.
Again past the pitcher. And again, Frazier makes the play. Watson lost his glove going after that ground ball. 2 outs. Last chance, it's Zobrist. One for 7. Batting right-handed here in the early going.
See how aggressive he is with this 2-0 pitch. Pick the outside corner. Zobrist wouldn't expand. Russell's on deck. Kid had some big moments in this ballpark last year.
The 3-0. Inside, ball 4.
Yeah, this appears to be the right man for the job. The way he has swung the bat today, and he's made outs his last 2 times up. He's had real good swings. First 2 trips for Russell, triple-double. But he's hit the ball hard all day long.
The Pirates bullpen has had a drama-filled week. Couldn't hold an 8th inning lead in Boston 2 days ago. They were able to escape a couple of big jams yesterday. And after being given the lead, Watson trying to hang on by his fingernails here in the 9th. A strike to Russell. The kick and the 0-1. It's 0-2.
Stay away.
Foul tip, strike 3, and the Pirates and the Cubs consecutive losses for the first time this season. Andrew McCutchen, long time a Cub killer, with the big 3-run homer in the 7th as the Pirates scored 5 times.
Yeah, Pirates got to be feeling awful good about things coming from 4 down twice against Jake Arrieta here today. They did a lot of damage against the Cubs bullpen, but that's the nature of this day with the wind blowing out. You know, no lead was safe. The Cubs had their last chance, just could not deliver the big hit.
Our Benny's toast of the game. We're giving it to Chris Bryant, his first 2 home runs of the season.
Glass now with a center cut fastball for the first one, and he went way up off the video board, this time off the end of the bat, and just enough to get it out of here.
Benny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. We're back on CSN Plus Monday evening, 6:30 for our pregame coverage as the Brewers come in for a 3-game series. For JD and our entire crew here at Wrigley Field, Len Casper with your final score once again. Pirates 8, Cubs 7. Blue Cross, Blue Shield Cubs post game live is next.